Shake your pom poms. Shake your pom poms. Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast with Miss Freddie and Brown, Brown, Brown. That damn Brown on Cleveland. Yeah. Ooh. Come on inside the Little Hut. Yeah. Okay. Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. My name is Kimberly F. Brown, known as Self Brown on Cleveland or simply Miss Kimmy. And tonight, of course, is Wednesday, and I'm hanging out with Miss Freddie. Say hello, Miss Freddie.
Good evening. Happy hump day, everybody.
It
Yeah.
simply never changes with Miss Freddie. But before we get into some deep conversation this evening, I always got to say hello to our top three sponsors. And of course, Aletha Johnson of Dream Team Realty. If you're looking for a single home, duplex, commercial property, new development, call her at 216 375 3681. Then, of course, New Beginnings, 1111 Creations. If you're looking for t shirts, hoodies, jackets, tumblers, mugs, team uniforms, or exclusive memorabilia of Brown on Cleveland. And Freddie, we got some new t shirts. They're called I Hate Kimberly F. Brown and the Little Hut Podcast. And the t shirts were designed for all of my haters. And thus far, we only sold one. So I guess they really don't hate me, right? But you can
Ooh,
call
get people
Angie
beat
Marie.
up.
Yep, you can call Angie at 216-395-7335. Then, of course, Freddie, if you're on this side of town or in Garfield, and if you're looking for some of the best soul food on the planet, you can go to Flavor Southern Cuisine Restaurant at
Mm.
12540 Rockside Road, Garfield Heights. So if you're ready to smack your lips and lick your fingers. Call Rhonda Stubbs at 216-510-0919. And also, too, she also caters to daycares. So if you're a daycare owner and if you need a caterer to take care of the little ones, the little Ray Rays and
Mm.
Peaches and Keisha and Marys and them little Karens, you can call Rhonda at again 216-510-0919. Brown, brown, brown. That damn brown on Cleveland. Yeah. So Freddie, as always, is always great to see you, my friend. Um, I was glad that I ran into you today. Yeah, I'm
Mm.
not gonna tell people where, but it was good seeing you because I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, it was good seeing you. It was good. It was good actually getting out in the community, seeing you, hearing from the community themselves. So yeah, it was a good
Yeah.
day. It was a good day. I'm tired, but it was a good day. And it's hump day, so it's all right. We're on the way on back down on the other side.
And I saw you and Bridget in your best element as possible. You guys make a good team. You guys make a real good team.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
almost better than you and myself. So I don't know about Bridget make it. Yeah, but I've known Bridget for so long. I mean, man, probably about 20 years. It's been a long time. It's amazing how, you meet somebody and then you come back full circle and you see people in a different light and you actually shake your pom poms for them because you see the way that they have moved throughout life and how they elevated themselves. So I'm proud of her. I really am. Brown on Cleveland. I am so proud of Bridget. Yes, I am. Yep. I'm never a hater. I'm always a motivator. As long as you don't bother me, I
Absolutely.
don't bother you. But that's the other personality. But listen,
Yes,
what's going
yes.
on? So we can get right down to business.
All right, let's get it.
All right. Tonight's topic is something that's very critical. And they know on Wednesdays, we don't really play around like I do on Fridays. And then Sundays, I interview the candidates who are running for an elected seat, which in fact is always a very fascinating conversation. But with you on Wednesday, we really tried to talk about some serious situations. We always get a lot of feedback. So people need to understand that the chat is open. The chat is open. Question and comments, whatever the case may be. Feel free to log in. If you have a question, share your opinion. Hey, we take it all, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Just because we share our opinion, that doesn't make us right. It just simply means that we have an opinion like everybody else. So tonight, because school has started back, I wanted to talk about the issue of teachers and young people and their parents. There was a recent video that went viral on YouTube where two students they attacked a male teacher. Two students attacked a male teacher, and this happened over in Atlanta. And people are divided. And let me say this: it happened in Atlanta, but it happens here in our region as well. It just so happened that the video went viral. And the topic tonight is when teachers fight back, or should they fight back? So the question is, are you tired of dealing with disruptive behavior in the classroom? When patience run out, should teachers fight back against unruly students? In this thought provoking conversation, we will examine the question of whether teachers should respond to disruptive behavior. From the pros and the cons of fighting back to alternative strategies for managing challenging students, we explore the difficulties of this sensitive topic. I don't know where you stand with this, but Freddie, should teachers fight back when students on attack? Round on Cleveland inside the Little Hut podcast with co-host Miss Freddie Wednesday evening.
Should teachers fight back when students are attacking them? It's almost like a oxymoron. Like if somebody is attacking you, period. Like, all right, and we're talking about, I presume, and it don't even really like if it's a child that you can constrain. Yeah, are we talking about middle school, junior high, high school students? It
From
don't even.
kindergarten to high school, should teachers fight back?
So I will preface it in the statement of saying if there is a child in school and this is still a form of fighting back. So when it's a like you said from preschool that age that should definitely be addressed and not as a fight back. A fight back is documenting this behavior of this child as a teacher, as a responsible adult in this particular setting. And so we're going to fast forward it to when we get to junior high and high school. Now they are a threat because they are probably the same size as an adult. So at that point, as just I'm a teacher, I'm not a superhero. I'm not built of steel, or I'm not going if you that's not my job. I'm here to educate you, and that is my role. And somewhere along the way, as in every other aspect of our society, something has gone astray. It was just something I seen on social media the other day, or popped up in my news feed about um, Kim Kardashian and whomever making this argument of, oh, kids are in school 8 hours a day, then they have 5 to 6 hours of homework. They just don't have enough work balance. What? Like we were
Here's
me
the
as
thing.
a I'm just the
Here's the thing,
whole.
Freddie.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. we make too many excuses. So I'm looking at the chat right now, and Ashley says that defense classes need to be taught case by case, and every class need cameras. Mr. Fouché says children need to respect and fear something. God, parents, elders, somebody. We lost control when we stopped paddling, and I 100% agree with him. Ashley comes back and says some of these teachers be dysfunctional too, sassy and manipulative. We need to understand why they're actually doing it, and things are not the same. The reason why things are not the same, I truly believe, is because our generation, we got paddled and some of us didn't like it. So we felt that when we got grown, we were going to change the narrative. And we thought by changing the narrative, we were helping. We did not help. We made things worse. There was another video on social media this week where a child was reprimanded by her teacher. She calls her mother, right? Is one side of the story. Her mother comes into the classroom. She don't even ask questions, and she just start pounding on the teacher. And that teacher mopped her. The teacher mopped her. But here's the situation. You have a child over there who probably did not tell her mother the truth 9 times out of 10. You have a mother who cannot control herself. She comes in and assaults the teacher. Now the teacher assaults her back. Aggression breeds aggression. And you got this kid over here thinking it's funny, Brown or Cleveland. We got problems in our school system. And historically speaking, Black folks especially, we knew that education was what? Was what?
It
It
was
was the
key.
ingredients to financial wealth.
Hmm.
And now you can't even find children going into the classroom because some of their parents don't even believe that education is necessary in today's world. Brown or Cleveland. No excuses for me, none.
So when Ashley states that, you know, the teachers are sassy and they have attitudes, and yeah, they are actually just exactly the product of the kids. Those are who the teachers are now. So it's this whole dynamic of this whole dysfunctional society on top of a dysfunctional system. Now it's full of just dysfunctional people on top of it. So you have this whole cycle of dysfunction, because I'm confused on where in society that we cross this line. I'm a product of paddling, and I was a string
Mhm.
bean toothpick of a child, and I got paddled from, I don't know if I've ever got paddled from my female teachers, but my third grade Mr. Jacobs, oh, I got paddled. And I wasn't a bad student, but I was a goofy student and I laughed a lot. So when it was, I got paddled sometimes, and it wasn't often, but it was enough to make you be quiet. And I remember up into eighth grade when we were in school, and our art teacher, Mr. Brown, took a couple of boys out in that hallway and gave them that paddle.
Mhm.
All that goofing they was doing in class, oh, it was over. So this whole you ain't gonna hit my child and then your child gonna beat the teacher up or beat you up because they don't fear, like the other person said, they don't fear anything. And this is a behavior that is
Taught,
instilled at home.
taught.
That absolutely, kids are born with a clean slate. So whatever they are putting out there is what was put in them. So if they're displaying this aggressive behavior, is what they
Mhm.
see, is what they're taught. And then parents get defensive when you try to tell them of this behavior because they feel like, oh, you're talking about how I raise my kids. But understand, to be open enough to know when you know better, you do better, because we all made mistakes. Like you said,
Mhm.
my era, we came up right off of the heels into the whole, this whole different era with the crack epidemic, and it bringing all this materialism and all this money into our community, along with the death and destruction on the back end that we couldn't see coming. But we see, oh, we can buy our kids this, we can do that, we can give them all the stuff we ain't never had before. And somewhere along the line of doing all this, we forgot, because we thought, well, we ain't get this growing up, but we got so much more. We got character. We got something that was poured into the essence of us. All of
Yes.
that was lost. And then we have this really dysfunctional generation, and parents don't like to take accountability for
Mm-mm.
their dysfunction in it.
No, no.
And so, how do you even fix it? It ain't the teacher's. It's not a teacher's responsibility to make sure your
Nope.
child listens. And when I say be quiet, and I'm the teacher, you should be quiet. You shouldn't. It should not. This is not a debate. There was never a point in my going through school, through CMSD, at any point that I feel that I could challenge my teacher and be disrespectful about it, to even the point, not even verbally. I couldn't even fathom being verbally disrespectful, let alone physically being
Correct.
aggressive to a teacher. So for kids today to be so outraged about the
Outrageous.
most stupidest stuff, these are the same kids that open their car up down the street and throw their whole to go bag out in the street and keep going. This is the same people. This is all. And again, if people be acting like this some anomaly, no, this is our community and this is our problem as a whole. And
But here's the
when
thing. But here's a bigger issue, right? These same individuals, these same young people will be the same grown folk, just in bigger bodies, who are the aggressors in the community. These are the same people who will probably end up in somebody's jail cell or prison. These are the same individuals who will go to prison, and what they have in their mind is that my mama, my daddy said, can't nobody tell me anything. And the reason, some of the reasons why they're in that cell is because of that methodology right there. What people have instilled in young people. You can't touch my kid. You can't say anything to my kids. You can't discipline my kids. You can't give my kids direction. And these same individuals grow up to be aggressive. Like, I'm going to give you this sidebar here. When I was talking to you earlier, I told you I was on my way to Maple Heights, correct? I was on my way over there because some grown person decided to tear up and destroy Council candidate Dana D. Anderson her banners. Some grown person, right? Here's the thing that gets me. That grown person didn't just do this overnight. That behavior happened when that grown person was not grown, when she or he was a kid, because nobody taught them about consequences. Nobody taught them that they should value somebody else's property. Nobody told them not to touch something that is not theirs. So when they get caught and they get prosecuted, then they want to cry wolf. And it's nobody's fault but their parent, and now theirs, because they are adults. And these same adults have kids at home, and this is what they're teaching them. And these are supposed to be people who are trying to become leaders in our community. So we live in a ball of confusion. And the stuff is not right, because it does not stop when they turn 17 or 18, right? It does not. And I have to agree with you. You come from the womb being totally innocent. And what grown folks instill in you is a travesty. And this is the reason why a lot of people are messed up and jacked up. But at the end of the day, they're going to pay the consequences while you are not in the picture anymore, or you're gone away. Joseph says that teachers can't enforce things when there's no punishment. I agree. Children are smart and have learned quickly that there are no consequences for their bad behavior. We have made teachers powerless. And in today's world, I would not become a teacher if you paid me $1 million per year. Not going to do it. And they don't understand why we're having a shortage of educators. So if we can't even get people to educate our young people because our young people are sassy, disrespectful, the parents are aggressive, they're volatile. And then you have community leaders who exemplify the same behavior that our teachers see every single day. We are messed up and jacked up. And that is the way we're living today. And that's simply not right. Brown on Cleveland. I don't like it. I don't make excuses for it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, there are consequences that people will have to pay.
So I think with our community as a whole, we are uncomfortable in having uncomfortable conversations.
That's the only way
We
change can come.
we are uncomfortable in saying, okay, yeah, we kind of we done screwed up or we done fucked up right now. We don't want to take accountability for self. We want everybody else to be the cause of every situation. And I'm gonna apply the same analogy that I applied to the community today in regards to civic engagement, being involved in voting, and whatever the case may be. If you feel, in my experience in working in grassroots organization, being in the field that I am in now, and listening to the community, if you feel that when you show up in these specific spaces and say, hey, council person, we need this. There should be more of that. And we need more stuff for our community. We need more resources for our community. We need this. We need that. I'm going to apply the same thing with the school and teachers. If you feel like the political people, the elected officials, are the people that are there to drive your issues to be taken care of, making sure that your issues are being brought to the forefront to bring about significant and substantial change to your community. If you feel they are the car that drives this, then who are you? You are the gas. So if he, she, or whomever is the car and you are the gas, one don't work without the other. And if you only giving your person just enough to get above E, how far is it going? And you people want to be, they should do right just because. If they was to do right just because, there would never be any change in this country. You would still be somewhere singing swing low sweet chariot, because guess what, it would never have been done right for you, because they had to fight to make it right for you. So this whole notion that people are just going to do right just because they should, your elected officials should drive it home just because. Again, if you only giving them so much gas, if I know that there is, I'm gonna get, okay, they gonna give me about $3 worth of gas if I come over here. But if I go over there, they gonna fill my tank almost full. Where I'm going where they gonna fill my tank up at. And we need the most, but we giving just a little bit above an E in our effort, just above empty, and then want to get 10, 20, 30, 300 miles to the gallon. Ain't gonna work. So it's a two-way relationship. If you want something done, don't just think because they in this space they can get it done. It takes pressure to make anything better. It takes change to make it better. And for some reason or another, our people have thought, because the first leg of the fight was fought by the Fannie Lou Hamers, by the Fred Hamptons, by the Martin Luther Kings, by Malcolm X's, by those people. That was the first leg of the race. Because now you can never say, oh, if I was alive back then when the Black Panther Party and Martin Luther King was doing their stuff, I'd be. You living in it right now. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because you living in it right now where they systematically, intentionality, trying to take away your rights, and you sitting up here, what? Don't tell me about what we need to do as a people. Because if you didn't understand the first leg of the race that was fought, that took a whole 400 plus years to just get to the first hurdle, and then after that first hurdle, we became this complacent ass Negro. What? Come on. I have no room for that ignorance and no tolerance for it. So,
Question for you: do
yeah,
teachers have a right to fight back?
I'm a fucking
Should
fight
teachers
back. You hear
should
me?
teachers fight back?
If I was the teacher and you got your kid that probably weigh more than me,
They big kids
sitting up
today. They're
there
big.
trying to swing on me and fight me, I ain't fucking fighting back. We'll deal with that. I'm not about to let your child just beat me down because of whatever you've poured into your child.
So let me
Because
tell you.
every child ain't gonna do that.
So let me tell you what the superintendent said. His name is Dr. Devin Horton. He addressed the incident during the news conference, right? Saying the situation is more complex than it may seem. He pushed back against criminalization of the students involved and said the district should have done more to support them before the situation escalated. There's a story behind each and every one of those young men, Horton said. They are not criminals, and we should not be criminalizing them. So I have to disagree with the superintendent. I feel like that is a band aid cure of nothing. That's like putting a small band aid on a big ass wound. The wound is huge, but because you want to say the right political stump speech, because you want people to like you, this is what you put out. However, if you deal with that guy, who is that principal on Lean on Me? I can't think of his name. What was
Joe
his name?
Clark.
Joe Clark. If you was like a Joe Clark, which in fact was a real story, you would never make this comment because it's not about the few, it's about the majority. And if the majority is not learning and you allow the few to cause chaos, conflict, and confusion, then everybody will suffer. At some point in time, in my opinion, people can disagree with me on the chat, and I'm totally fine with that. You have to make an example out of people. It was just like in my household growing up. My sister, oldest sister, she was sassy, she was fast, she was, you know, she would try to run away. She was the sacrificial lamb. And my mother didn't play that. So I looked at the way my mother dealt with my older sister, and I knew I didn't want that. I didn't want it. It was a subliminal message that if you get out of order, because you know I'm already jazzy. I'm jazzy at the mouth. Everybody know that. I'm jazzy. But I know when to and when not to. You got to know when to walk and when not to walk. You got to understand what lines to cross and lines not to cross. That's what you got to do, right? But my sister growing up, she didn't know those things. She was so cuckoo that she changed a D into an A on her report card and thought my mother was stupid, right? So we already knew coming home, just get straight A's because you're going to get a beat down if mama found out you did that. And you have to set the example. What's going on today is that people don't want to set the example, not only in their household, but they refuse to allow teachers to set an example in a classroom. Like I have a lot of teachers, and of course I can't tell you who they are because it's all political, and I don't want nobody listening to this show and I say something, then they want to run and try to jump on a teacher. Some of these superintendents and these school board members, they're straight out bullies. I heard of an incident where a superintendent, he made excuses for a white guy, a white teacher, calling a black student the N-word. And his thing was, everybody makes mistakes. Some mistakes, guess what? We can't make. There should have been some severe consequences on that teacher. And I'm not negating the fact on whatever that student was doing, because if his behavior was inappropriate, that should have been dealt with too. But do we just allow people to do whatever they want to do? There's something called rules and regulations. I can't do it on my job. You can't do it on your job. You can't. There's a certain type of behavior. There's a certain way you have to carry yourself if you want to stay employed. If not, you're going to be one of those numbers. Brown on Cleveland, I'm just saying. Should teachers fight back like you, Freddie? I'm going to say this. Yeah, I will fight back. Parent, come up there. I'm sorry. We just have to physically fight. And however the consequences throw down, it has to come down because that teacher is somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's grandparents. So who are you? If you don't want your child to be disciplined, if you don't want your child to be corrected, then what you could do, you could teach your son or daughter at home. Brown on Cleveland, teachers shouldn't have to take it. They don't make enough money for all this headache. Their job is to teach. Your child's job is to be a student and learn. When people understand their roles in life, we'll do better because we know better. And right now, we don't do better because we don't know better. And we make too many excuses. Brown on Cleveland, I rest my case. I'm tired of this mess. The superintendent, he
I
wants to say that the district is rolling out a de escalation training for teachers and staff to help keep situations from turning physical. But he never once addressed the child, the young men who created the act of violence, Brown on Cleveland. And that's the number one problem.
so the superintendent, of course,
Coward.
of course, there's layers to every situation. There's layers to all of this. And your problem at addressing it at this stage doesn't fit the solution because the problem is rooted somewhere else. So what you're going to do is not going to stop the next person behind this one that you're trying to say. And again, I don't know all the specifics and the details of the case, and to say it shouldn't be criminality in it, but to say it shouldn't because of the layers of systematic things that have happened. But there again, it goes back to the accountability. These systematic issues have been in our lives. They were worse before. This is such a selfish and spoiled and entitled generation that acts like their struggle, I don't know what the struggle is and what they're so upset about. And then the parents like, well, it's because this, and that. No, like you said, those are excuses. And again, at the end of the day, when we start to take accountability for ourselves, we can get somewhere. Stop looking on the outside. This is an in-house problem. I'm gonna keep
Let's wrap
saying that.
this up. Remember last time you were on and we talked about the young man in Texas who killed his mother because his mother, she punished him, right? And all she
Mhm.
did, she took the cell phone from him that she was paying for. She took the cell phone as a means of punishment. And what he did when she laid down to go to sleep, she had her gun on her nightstand. He creeped upstairs. He got the gun. He took the gun downstairs. He loaded the gun, so therefore she couldn't hear him load the gun. He came back upstairs, put that gun by his mother's temple, and he killed her. Excuses, 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 excuses. When we stop making excuses for other people's behaviors, we will begin to see a shining light and we'll come out of the darkness. Our time is up. When teachers fight back, should they fight back? Me? I say, damn right. Brown on Cleveland. Wrap it up, Freddie, because we got to go.
All right. Until next time, live, love, laugh. Try to make a difference along the way. Peace, love. Until next time, y'all. We out.
And she still can't dance. Not at all. So, hey, it's always great being with you each and every other day, right? My name is Kimberly Brown, Brown on Cleveland. Thank you for coming inside the Little Hut podcast, Brown on Cleveland. Don't forget to join me on Friday. Friday is going to be an epic banner off the roof hot show. I have attorney Elliot Forehand. Attorney Elliot Forham. He's the former state rep for District 20 of Ohio, and he's coming in to talk about his lawsuit. He was granted the permission to sue members of Cuyahoga County Democratic Party. Damn right. They defamed his name, and hey, Attorney Forham, he's fighting back. And I get Freddie the first scoop at the mess. Yeah! Yeah, everybody's coming to Brown on Cleveland. Sunday, I got Larry Gardner from Headlines Eyes. And I kid you not, a lot of people are coming through just to celebrate the Little Hut podcast. Brown, 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 that damn Brown on Cleveland. Listen, y'all, when you talk about me, always remember that I'll talk about you back. So don't talk about me in private because you know me. I will talk about you in public. And as always, you don't have to be a star, baby. You don't have to be a star, baby. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be on this show, do you, Freddie? But
No.
Brown, Brown, Brown. That darn Brown on Cleveland. Yeah. Thank you for coming inside the Little Hut podcast.